Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. So I have been wanting to film this video for a very long time, but I'm actually getting to it. And this video we're going to talk about why your wash and goes don't look like all the influencers wash and go, and how to perfect your wash and go technique. I do wash and goes a lot. If you have been on my channel for a while, you know that I love wash and goes because they are easy to do and they are very quick to do, and the more you do it, you get a hang out of it, and then you can just perfect it. So the first thing I'm going to touch on is wash and goes. No matter how much it looks easy to create, it takes practice to get the result that you want. You have to keep trying and trying different gels and see how your hair reacts to different gels and what techniques to use. You have to learn everything. Natural hair is a learning process. You just don't get everything in the same day. I have been having my hair for years now, and I am still learning certain things. My hair changes sometimes. Sometimes the product that worked for me yesterday is not working for me today. It once changed, so I changed. The first thing is to get to know your hair and the capability of your hair, what your hair can do when it comes to curling, the natural curl state of your hair. You need to understand that. At times when I do wash and goes or people see my hair in a natural state, some of them tend to ask questions like, how do I get my hair to be like that? And the answer is you cannot. That is how my hair naturally grow out of my scalp. That is God-given. That's what I was born with, so I'm stuck with it. You guys, there are a lot of natural hair groups and categories of everybody's hair is beautiful, and sometimes I wish my hair can do certain things that other people's hair are doing, but the truth of the matter is it is not going to do that. And as much as I admire it, I've also accept what my hair can do and what it can do. So you have to know that if Frida is applying this product and it's working for Frida, it might not work for you. So the only way you can get to know that is through try and error, which is very sad because that is money that you're trying and erroring with, if that's even a word. But yeah, unfortunately that's what it is. So try not to have your expectations so high. If you see an influencer or somebody on the internet, on Instagram, their hair is popping from using a product, and you buy that same product and it doesn't work like it worked for them. It could be, one, your curl type is different. Two, maybe you did not use the right technique. And three, all of the steps I'm going to touch on in this video. I don't have it in any particular order, and I also did not number everything. I just wrote on a flashcard so I can kind of remember what I want to say. So the first thing you want to do is to detangle your hair. When you want to do a wash and go, or any style for that matter, it is very crucial to detangle your hair. You cannot achieve a defined wash and go or a defined twist out, a defined braid outs without properly detangling your hair. The reason is, when you don't detangle and then you do your hair, maybe wash and go, to some extent you can maneuver your way out, but twist out and braid out and all the curl stuff, the perm rolls, the flexi rolls and all of that, you're going to suffer when you're trying to separate those curls. It's going to create frizz. You have to make sure your hair is detangled. The next thing is choosing the right product. So you do not want to go through the whole process of doing your wash and go, and then it dries and it leaves white cast and flakes, and your hair is full of all these flakes that you shake your hair and your clothes is like full of the white flakes. You do not want that. That is very stressful. It is annoying. That means you have to go back to the shower and wash your hair, or you put a head wrap. It is like, it's annoying. So what you want to do, one tip you want to do is the products that you want to use. It's easy to use products that are in the same brand. So for instance, the product I'm going to be using will be from Image. So if I choose to do a wash and go, it's kind of easy to use all Image products. I'm not saying use all Image products. or just use one brand for your wash and goes. But it's easier to stick to one product because I'm assuming that the products were formulated to work together. So the people that are making the products kind of thought of it and put together a product set that will work for your hair. If I just use Image Beauty, let's say the buttercream, and I just use my wet line extreme gel, I have to make sure these two combinations are going to work and they are not going to create flakes in my hair. So how do you do that? You're going to take a little bit of the wet line extreme, just a tiny bit. You put it in your palm or any place. You can even get some surface somewhere and put it on or anything like that. And then you're gonna get your Image product or any other product, basically the product that you are using. You're gonna get them and then you're gonna mix them together in your palm. The case, if they mix so well, then you're not gonna get flakes. But if it doesn't mix well, then you're gonna get flakes. So that's one thing to do to save you time when you are doing your wash and go. So talking about products, you also need to select the right product, and that, like I mentioned earlier, you can only do to try and error. There are certain gels that will work for somebody with wavy hair and it will work for somebody with 4C hair. So you need to know what product works for your hair, and that can only come through trying and testing and stuff like that. So that's also very key. Today the products that I'm going to be using will be Image. Like I said, I will be using the Image leave-in conditioner, and I'll also be using the Image buttercream, and I'll also be using the Style Coil gel. So those are the three products that I'll be using. I do have a review on them and I know how these products work for my hair, so that's why I chose this product. Another quick thing to also know is the kind of result you're going for. If you're going for a more if you're going for a wash and go that you want to last for days, you might want to get a gel that have a stronger hold than a gel that doesn't. So for instance, I love this wet line extreme gel and I love this Image gel. If I'm going to do a wash and go that I want it to last me 3 to 4 days, I'll go with this. And if I want a wash and go that makes my hair define, but also it makes my hair a little flowy to some extent and it makes my hair not too shrinked, I'll go for this. If I want a wash and go that will last me a week or maybe a little bit over a week, I will go for this. And if I want a wash and go that is defined as well, but it create that gel cast, which I can easily go in and break the gel cast, I will go for this as well. So you need to know the goal you are looking for or what you're looking for in that particular wash and go before you do it. I know it's sounding more technical because it's just a simple wash and go, so why all of these things? But this will help you. It will save your wash and go game, okay? So the first thing you want to do is to section off your hair. If your hair is more on the thicker side, like very thick, you have beautiful gorgeous thick hair, you want to section your hair in smaller sections. So I usually do 4 sections, but under normal circumstances, if I really want my hair to be super defined, I would do 6 sections. But there are people that their hair is more thicker, like they're thicker than mine. You want to do multiple sections, maybe 8 or even 9 sections. And if your hair is thick and your hair is on the more coilier side, you also want to be doing like you also want to be doing smaller sections. That way each strand of your hair is getting defined, and so you can get the result that you are looking for. So I am going to try and do 6 sections today, just because I'm feeling fancy. I usually do focus. I ain't got time for all of that. Yeah. Like I said, you have to control the narrative of your wash and go. If you don't have time, do 4 sections, but just know that your hair might not turn out as best as if you do smaller sections. but you can also do bigger sections. It depends on the way you apply your products. The next step is wet your hair. Wash and go, like the name says, is wash and go. Usually the go part is a little problem because you can just wash that. You cold if your hair is not dripping wet, you cool and then it will dry on the way. But the reason why it's called a wash and go is they want your hair to be in a very damp state. If you're somebody that do your wash and go and your curls do not look like your natural curl. So the way you know your natural curl is when your hair is wet. So when you get into the shower and then you wet your hair, how does your hair look? Wash and goes are supposed to keep the natural state of your hair and keep it like that, or enhance it a little bit so it looks really nice. So you need to know the natural state of your hair before you do your wash and go. So the best thing is to do it in the shower. That is the best thing. More so also because if you have low porosity, your pores are kind of open with the hot water or the steam that's coming from the shower, so the products can really absorb into the strand of your hair. But Charlie, life is not perfect, okay? We ain't got time to be standing in the shower for 30, 15, 20 minutes. Like, we all don't like that. Me, I don't like stay in the shower for that long. I go quick, I come out quick. So yeah, if you can do it in the shower, that is very ideal. If you can't, then you have to manage to create that shower environment sort of outside the shower. I don't know if that makes sense. And the reason why sometimes I don't like doing my wash and go in the shower is because it just make everything messy, okay? And then maybe water will splash into your product and all of that. So what you're going to be doing is to make sure your hair is thoroughly wet. When I mean wet, I mean wet. If you want the best wash and go, you want your hair to be wet. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-wet my hair. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you guys can really see my hair and what it does, so I can explain the step better. So like I said, the ideal part to do this, it will be in the shower. It will help a lot, but if you don't have a shower, just do it this way. You might not get the best result doing it this way, but if this is what you got, this is what you have to do. The next step is to make sure your hair is moisturized. It is very important for you to moisturize your hair. That way your styles look really nice and they don't just dry up. After drying, they look really dry and unmoisturized. It makes your curls look better and your hair look better in general. So I am going to be using a leave-in. You have to select the way you want to moisturize your hair, whether using the LOC method or the LCO method, and you have to choose that. Either one, it will work. It doesn't matter. Just choose what works for your hair. So I usually do the LCO method. So I'm just going to apply the leave-in to my hair and go ahead with a cream, and then I'll apply the gel and then maybe oil later. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be applying the leave-in right now. And one thing, I had someone comment on my video one time that I used way too much product for a style that I was doing. I use a lot of product depending on the weight of the product. If it's a very thick product, I will use a small amount. If it is not, I will use more amount. And also when I apply it to my hair, how my hair feels, if my hair demand more product, I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna apply this to my hair.
Said I'm in love with you, and I'ma give you anything you want, and I'ma give you anything you need. Batman hair, wine and blue. Said I'm in love with you, and I'ma give you.
My hair have been detangled in the shower, but I'm going to go ahead and just detangle a little bit. If you wrap your hand through your hair and if you're feeling some knot, just go ahead and detangle it again. I'll usually use a wide tooth comb for this purpose, but the brush is really handy, so this is why I choose the brush. So after doing all of that and your hair is looking moisturized, you want to go ahead and apply your gel. Now when you're applying your gel, you want to know the kind of technique that you're going for, and I'm going to show you guys all the techniques that I know. So for the first technique, you can easily just go like this and rub it in like the way I rub in the moisturizer. This also work with knowing what worked for your hair. So basically you need to learn everything that worked for your hair. You can apply different techniques and see how it works for your hair. So you can do this. I think this is called the raking method. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. So you can do this and rake your hand through your hair and you get your wash and go. Or I'm going to add just a tiny bit of gel. Or you can do the next step, which is do this. So I think most people call it the praying hand method. So you just touch your hair from here and pull it down. Then you hold and pull down. So this is, I do a combination of the two. I just don't do one. I do a combination of the two. Usually I rake first and then I do the praying hand method. So you can do that as well. The third method will be shingling. So shingling is, it takes time to do. That is when you try to define a clump of your hair. So I wouldn't say each strand of your hair, because a strand is like one strand of your hair, but you take like a little section of your hair and try to define it. So if I'm doing shingling, I'll probably take the gel and then I'll kind of define my hair like that. So you go ahead, kind of like your finger curling it, but not really. So that's how shingling works. It takes time to do. That's why I do not do it, because it will take you forever. But if your hair is more on the curlier side, you want to do smaller section, and then you want to do the praying hand method, and then after that you want to rake the product through. That way you're getting a shingling effect without actually taking your time to shingle it. And when some part is really not defined, you can go in and do the shingling method. So I'm just going to add a little bit more gel to this section and then we'll finish it up. So usually this is what you see me do. I do this first and then I go in like that. And to clamp your curls, sometimes you can put your hand at the bottom of your hair and then do this. So that way it clamps your curl. It gives you more of like a tighter, it gives you more of like a tighter curls. I do this sometimes, but not always. So yeah, this is what you do. One key to getting a defined wash and go throughout is also paying attention to your roots. So when you're applying the gel to your hair, sometimes you feel like you're getting your roots, but you're not really putting the gel there. So you need to get your roots. That way your root is also defined. I do not always like getting too close to my roots because I like the puffy look of the hair. I like a lot of volume. When you get too much gel down your root, it's gonna look defined, it's gonna look cute, and it's gonna look nice as well, but it might take away the volume in the first 2 days because your roots are super defined. But if your roots are not that defined, it's easy to pick it, then it creates some sort of frizz, and the frizz creates volume. So frizz is not really a bad thing depending on what look you're going for. So I like the root to be puffy and frizzy, so I go in and I add gel, but I do not add too much gel to my root, just a tiny bit of the root. I leave it out. So you guys see the method that I use. This is how my hair looks, and this is how my hair looks when it is wet. It is just a little enhanced, so you'll be getting the result that you naturally have. You can manipulate the wash and go to a point that you get your hair will turn like mine, unless we have the same type of hair. So yeah, that's basically what you do when you're doing a wash and go. I'm going to show another step, but I will stop talking and show it, and then I'll speed through this because this video is already long.
You anything you need, bad man here, wine I'm to the beat. That me low, tell me what you want to know. Me I no go lose control. Bad man I feel your flow, wine I'm slow. This one no be private show. That me low, tell me what you want.
Okay guys, so I am going to go finish up the rest of my hair, and then we'll come back and talk about the drying method because that is important too, and then we'll end this video. So I'll see you guys in a short. When you're done, you want your front and your ends to be really nice, so I like to go in with extra gel, and then I kind of apply that to the part, and I try to make that part a little straight. I am not very particular about how my parts looks because I like the messy look a lot. So talking about parts is also another thing you need to realize when you're doing a wash and go. Your parts needs to be set. So if you want a middle part, start with a middle part. If you want a side part, start with a side part. So now that I did a middle part, if I want a side part, I have to do it now. You have to do it before your hair gets dry. So I am going to try and create a side part so you guys can see. So usually when I start with a middle part and then I decide, oh, I'd rather have a side part, this is what I do. You want to do it though before your hair dries, because when your hair dry, your hair is going to dry the way you start off the hair. So when I create a side part like that, I go in with extra gel, and then I kind of define that part so it just, you know, stay put and looks just the way I want it to look. So now I'm going to go in with my oil. You do not want to apply heavy oils and too much of it too, because your hair is going to look greasy. You do not want to forget your ends as well. So now that we are done applying the product, you want to decide how you want to dry your hair. Air drying is great. It saves your curls and it doesn't give you heat damage and all of that beautiful stuff. If you do want less frizz with your hair and you want that frizz to carry on for a couple of days, you might want to diffuse your hair. That will set your hair just the way it is. Like if I diffuse my hair right now, it's gonna set my hair just like this. Air drying, because your hair is coming into contact with so many things, it is bound to get a little frizzy, especially your ends. So that's the only difference. It's not really that much of a huge difference, but if you're going for a particular look, you want to choose the right thing. So I usually air dry, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So you'll probably see the result of this hair tomorrow, God willing. It's not going to, it's currently 12 p.m. It's not going to dry tonight. My hair takes a little longer to dry in a wash and go, and plus I have work later in the day. So yeah, so tomorrow I'll come and show you guys the results. I hope this helped you with your wash and go. If you try it and it worked for you, let me know. Come back later in the comments and let us know how these steps apply to you. Okay, so let me stop talking. This video is ridiculously long already, so I'll see you tomorrow and I'll show you guys the result. But so far, this is how my hair is looking. If you guys care to know, this is how it's looking. Okay guys, so I basically just came back from work and I wanted to show you guys my final result before I go to bed. Before I show you guys the result though, I had my hair in like sort of I don't know, it's not really a band, but I just took pieces of hair from here, from the front, and then tied up so like my hair will not be in my face. I'm a healthcare worker, so I have to put on masks and face shield and all of that jazz, so my hair is a little frizzy, but I'm just gonna show you guys the results and zoom in so you guys can see the final look. The bottom is still a little damp. I wanted to show you guys tomorrow, but I was like, why not just show you to you guys now. So this is what I'm working with. This is the definition that I'm working with. Like I said in the video, you need to choose the gel and how you want the outcome. Okay, I want my hair to be defined, but I still also wanted to have some frizz so I can manipulate it. So this gel does just that, and as I mentioned, most of my protective stuff are really at my front, the pulling of the face shield and all of that. So yeah, that part will tend to be more frizzy, but yeah, this is what I'm working with. I really like the results, and it is frizzy. I like it frizz. I don't mind the frizz. So I wish I didn't have to go to work, but this video is more so on like techniques, and you guys learn the techniques of doing a wash and go, not more so on like my result. You guys have seen my result in multiple videos, so you guys know how my hair does with products. So yeah, like I said, if you have any new technique, let me know in the comments, and if you have any video suggestion, let me know as well. And I'm going to end this video here, so I'll catch you in my next video. So until then, stay blessed and beautiful. Bye.